just last night, I was watching my toddler play, and he's the older child, and he does things that I think, wow, that really reminds me of my older sisters. A little manipulative, a little bossy.
What?
And
Hold on.
wait. It's just like older siblings. It's not like an attack on you.
Or all older siblings.
Or, right. Probably most. I don't know. But I was talking to my friend and reminiscing about this one time that we were told to clean the house.
I know what you're going to say.
And
hold on. I know what you're going to say because it's not like I did it all the time or anything. It's a very specific memory.
Mud mask? Much? Okay. Okay. So this particular time, Mom instructed us to clean the house, and then she left. So we had divided up the rooms, so it was a pretty even split. I did mine. You did, I don't know, part of one of yours, and then came up to me with a deal. She's 4 years older, this sister of mine, so, you know. The deal was, hey, Allie, if you clean my rooms, the rooms I'm supposed to clean, I'll let you watch 15 minutes of TV per room.
Which I purposefully did. So you would have to do 2 rooms in order to watch an entire show.
Yeah, because the shows were a half hour. So I clean the entire 3-story house. It's a 3-story house that my parents renovated.
Our parents.
Every square inch of that place, spotless. And I sit down.
You did a great job.
And settle into what I think is about to be a solid an hour and a half of TV. I don't know. Mom gets home and she loses it. And she's like, what are you doing watching TV? I'm like, no, the deal was for every room I cleaned, I get 15 minutes and I'm only 15 minutes in. I haven't even watched the whole show yet. And she's like, Eleisha doesn't have that authority.
Yeah, because we weren't supposed to be watching television.
Yeah. I got in trouble for watching TV because I wasn't supposed to. So I cleaned the house and got in trouble for watching TV. And that was one of many
I'm sorry.
times Eleisha was the ultimate big sister.
This doesn't sound like a great ultimate big sister.
Which brings us to today's episode. We're spring cleaning.
Hold on. So you're sharing this story because today's episode is spring cleaning?
Yeah, it felt relevant. That's what I think of when I think of cleaning.
Every time you clean the house, you think back to this really traumatic experience as a child when your older sister manipulated you into cleaning?
Yeah, that when I do the dishes, I think of that time you called the cops. But we can talk about that another time. Because I was washing when she wanted to wash and I was going to dry.
I did not call the cops. I called time so that it sounded like there was a voice on the other end.
Again, 4 years younger. So she was having these pretty brilliant thoughts. And I'm a baby going, oh my gosh, I'm about to go to prison because I started washing the dishes while she was in the bathroom.
How are we still friends?
Are we friends?
Oh, no.
You know, you live and you learn, but I like that you thought that it was a one-off experience and they just keep flowing. Like, I am thinking of all the times.
Yeah, I must have suppressed them all.
So we're talking about spring cleaning today.
What we're learning in this podcast is that I kind of suck sometimes.
You've gotten so much better.
I feel like you say that all the time. You've gotten so much better.
You know what's amazing? We were still very close as children. Like, you did those things, and I still begged to sleep in your bed at the end of the night.
Well,
and that's where the manipulation comes in.
Master manipulator. I legitimately loved you, obviously, and still do very much. You're my favorite person in the world. Wait, you were my... I can't say that with my husband listening. You were my favorite family member. Oh, dang it.
You have a husband and a daughter, so...
And a mother and a father.
Favorite sibling for sure.
You are my favorite sibling.
Ditto.
Welcome back to One Can Hope. I'm Eleisha, refillery owner and low waste lifestyle advocate.
And I'm Ali, upcycling enthusiast and content creator.
Spring has sprung. The birds are singing. The flowers are starting to pop up. Trees have buds on them. If you're anything like us, kind of getting that itch to start cleaning the home.
But before you grab those cleaning products, let's talk about how to clean up your space without dirtying the planet.
Today we're dusting off the truth about cleaning supplies, the good, the bad, and the toxic. We'll discuss low waste swaps, safer ingredients, and confess a few of our own cleaning hurdles.
So crack open a window, let the fresh air in, and get ready for some sustainable spring cleaning that'll make your home and the planet shine.
One can hope!
According to Circular Online, the UK throws away 468 million spray bottles each year.
Have you ever noticed that we have a lot of UK studies, but not a ton of US studies?
I think they're more committed to finding this information out.
Or more committed to sharing it? I don't even know.
Maybe. We're like, you know what? We'll just go off of theirs.
Yeah.
We'll go that tiny island nation.
That's much smaller than the United States.
We'll just...
Knowing that they're more committed to the environment, but also that they're much smaller, it's telling us something.
Yeah, it feels like you have to multiply it not only by area, but then just by a difference in how we live.
Yeah, okay. Please continue. Tell us about that tiny island.
What they're talking about is every little plastic spray bottle that's used for cleaning products.
Like window cleaners and bathroom cleaners and all-purpose cleaners. Yeah.
Yes, and that liquid gets used up and then it's thrown away.
Yeah, the entire spray bottle.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And on top of the waste, there are health risks. People working in the cleaning industry face a 50% higher risk of asthma and a 43% higher risk of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Now, that's obviously because of the chemicals that are in the cleaning products.
Yeah, it feels like a pretty big correlation.
Yes. Women in this field are at an increased risk of lung cancer. And some studies show that higher use of certain indoor cleaners in utero, little baby in the belly right there, and infancy is associated with a greater risk of asthma and wheezing in childhood. Aren't you glad that in thinking of that, I mean, obviously that's so super sad, but in thinking about it, aren't you so glad that you've already switched to more sustainable products as a pregnant person?
I just don't clean.
Right, I forgot we have established this because you're getting ready for Halloween.
Right. It's a year-long process. No, you're absolutely right that I made the switch to better cleaning products before I had kids, which makes it a lot easier. Mm-hmm. Now, if I even smell those,
oh yeah,
like the Clorox, the bleach, they are so pungent to me.
I remember going to an Airbnb last spring and it hit us like the minute we walked in the door. It was like a punch in the face, that fragrance, that like bleach smell. And
it gives me a little headache. It makes my eyes water.
Yeah.
You're a little ahead of the game too, because when you were pregnant with your daughter, I went to visit you in New York and you were a few months pregnant, but one day you were leaving the house and you were like, Ali, I really need you to clean my apartment because I just can't.
Did I tell you can watch 15 minutes of television?
Y'all didn't have TV.
Oh, right. Dang it.
You're like, you can stay here? No, it wasn't. You weren't being like mean or anything. You're just like, I really need to clean, but it's not safe for the baby. Would you please?
Oh, because we had bad products at that point.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, no problem. And I was definitely like, oh, baby. But now
this is a confession episode.
But I totally get it now. And I very much would not want to use any of that stuff around my kids or while I'm pregnant. So
you're welcome.
So I'm sorry that I was cursing you under my breath and you didn't even know about it.
But
now you know.
I deserved it. I probably deserved it.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Not that
okay.
time.
I
Not
cursed
that time.
myself under my breath all the time. So
No, not that time. That time you didn't deserve it. Other times, sure. It seems so obvious now that those cleaning ingredients, and when we were looking up the facts for this episode and seeing that correlation between people in the cleaning industry, I mean,
Seems like
get
a
rid of it.
no-brainer.
And I know I've mentioned it before in my videos, and people are like, I don't trust a bathroom that hasn't been bleached. And I'm like, oh.
It's interesting the way that we have been marketed to in that way.
Yeah, that's the only way to clean it.
You got any other important facts for this episode?
So these ingredients are not only bad for our health, but obviously bad for the environment.
The health of other things on the planet.
Yeah, the other living things. Cleaning products contribute to outdoor air pollution through VOCs, which are volatile organic compounds.
You see that all the time as like a selling point for products that have those compounds.
Right. So a 2018 study found that half of the VOCs responsible for air pollution come from consumer products, including cleaners.
It's also a lot in paint.
Oh, is it?
Again, because renovating the house, as I've discussed before, I became a lot more aware of the different products that are in the things that we use for construction, in the more accepted things. And high VOCs are very prevalent in a lot of those materials.
So that's why today we're talking about ways to make your cleaning routine cleaner,
greener,
meaner, if you're a sister, big sister.
Less big sister vibes.
So let's clean up our act.
Love a good pun. So when people walk into the shop, they are always like, oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. And it's always based on whatever refill product we've been opening up. But it's not because it's scented with the kind of
synthetic
fragrances, which a lot of times have the phthalates and everything in them, which are not good to breathe in. They're not good to put on your body. A lot of it's more essential oil based. But truly the most sustainable option is unscented. Unscented is the best as far as not depleting resources. You're not having to create those synthetic fragrances that are naturally derived that would be safer and phthalate free. And then you're also not having to farm lavender fields and then taking the minute...
extract the oil from it. You're right.
So unscented is the more sustainable option. And it's also a lot healthier as far as breathing and respiratory issues.
To touch back on those fragrances and the things with VOCs, as we mentioned, those are contributors to smog and respiratory issues. So if you are using those things, just make sure your area is well ventilated. Open up your windows and doors so you're not just trapped in a room.
Yeah, and one thing I would also suggest is not necessarily using an atomizer spray. If you can, just kind of putting it directly on the rag so that you're not breathing in.
Oh, that makes sense. Because when you use the sprayer, it's
everywhere.
Kind of going everywhere, including where you want it to be, usually.
And also in your nose.
Yeah, and lungs.
And skin.
With the fragrance-free stuff, I had never really considered unscented options until I had kids, and it's highly recommended that for the first few months of their life, at least, you're using unscented products for their safety, and their skin is so sensitive.
And you don't know if they have any allergies at that point.
Right.
So even something like an essential oil can cause allergies if you're allergic to that plant, or that, like peppermint is something that a lot of people are surprisingly allergic to.
And now we have to address the packaging.
The whole reason I opened a refill shop.
Right, because even though I could only really find that one stat from the UK about the amount of spray bottles, but realistically, we know that there are...
Sure, in our own households, I mean, how many do we go through if we're not, really conscious of the waste we're creating?
And fortunately, there are solutions to that. Like you said, you opened a refillery.
Yeah.
But simply reusing bottles has been a great way. Like glass bottles you can get and use a spray top or just...
Well, I mean, honestly, old vinegar bottles are great for then just transferring. The neck size is usually the same size as your old cleaner's spray, like the trigger sprayer. So you just take that on, put it on your new little glass bottle, and that way you're avoiding any kind of BPA from leaching into the cleaning product. You're also avoiding any heavy metals. And then also a lot of packaging does have phthalates. So that's another thing that you're avoiding if you start rethinking the packaging of your cleaning products.
Also, it's just they get thrown away. They're going to a landfill.
Yeah.
This you can...
Or maybe recycled, depending.
Maybe.
I mean, there's arguments because of the chemicals leaching into that plastic that it's not actually going to get recycled. We've talked about this many times about recycling and if it's working or not.
Well, and let's say best case scenario, it is getting recycled. That still takes energy and resources to do so. Or you could just reuse a glass bottle over and over again until it breaks.
No, you and I specifically are thinking of reusing this bottle, but any listeners might be like, well, so what do? You just pour your cleaning container solution into the glass bottle? No, there are alternatives which are in tablet form, so they're more concentrated, and you just add the water. The benefit of this is, one, you're not shipping water around, which causes a high amount of emissions.
Well, and what was that stat from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation? More than 90% of a typical cleaning bottle is just water. So an estimated 20% or more of global disposable plastic packaging by weight could be replaced by reusable packaging if we only shipped the active ingredients.
So say that again, how much would be reduced?
An estimated 20% or more.
Okay.
Like I think at least 20%. And I think honestly
of plastic packaging would be reduced.
Right. And it could, I think, be a lot more than that. Because imagine if you only shipped the tablet of cleaning.
Each tablet is equivalent to one 16-ounce bottle of cleaning.
And picture the size of, say, a nickel for some of the cleaning tablets. Some are a little bit more, but the ones you use and the ones I've purchased before, they come in a little cardboard box and give you maybe 4 or 10, depending how many you're getting, tablets. So you can use those for a month, a few months. Like Eleisha just said, each tablet fills up one bottle because all you're adding is water at home. And then you don't have to ship it around the world.
Don't have to ship it around the world. You don't have to pay for new containers every time and then dispose of those containers when you're finished. And the ingredients are much better. They're safer. I'm not saying all tablets, but you can definitely look at the ingredients. Obviously, the ones that we sell and several others that are available commercially are clean and safe.
And plastic free.
Plastic free and package free for us. I mean, if you're buying them from us.
Yeah, and you can find them in compostable packaging.
And that's the other nice thing. Most of the time, if it's a tablet, it's going to be in some sort of earth-friendly packaging because that company has specifically thought about it. Now, again, we know about greenwashing and how as sustainability becomes more of a buzzword, companies are starting to latch onto that and say, oh, this is a sustainable option.
See, we put it in a green bottle.
Mm-hmm. It's got a leaf on it. But so, yeah, you can just read your ingredients. You can go to the Environmental Working Group, the EWG, and read about the ingredients to see if they are safe for you as a person and the environment, and then make more informed decisions.
Also, something really nice to point out is most of the tablets that I've seen are unscented. Do y'all sell?
Yeah, we sell both.
Okay.
We sell different ones because some people really want a scent. And if that is a way...
That's how they feel like, okay, it's clean.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's a really big thing. Even with like laundry powder, when the clothes don't come out smelling like something, people don't feel like it's clean. Because we've just been told over and over again that a scent means that it's clean instead of no scent, which is really the cleaner option.
Right.
Beyond the cleaning products themselves are what you're actually using, like the rags or...
Instead of paper towels, plastic sponges.
Microfiber cloths, which are fantastic at actually getting the clean, but it is all just little plastic particles.
What we do is anytime a t-shirt gets a hole in it, that's a cleaning rag.
Oh yeah, cotton t-shirt, fantastic.
Our cloth diapers.
Yes.
We have... they're called pre-folds. They're just a square of thick cotton fabric.
Super absorbent.
And once they get holes in it, once they're no longer usable as a diaper, it becomes a cleaning rag. And they are excellent.
They are fantastic.
You'll have a few, right?
Yeah.
I gave you some.
And now they are our cleaning rags.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're so good. It was part of the reason I liked the pre-fold option for cloth diaperings, because a lot of people think these are much more difficult. But for me, it had so much more life to give than a more modern cloth diaper.
Well, we're still reaping the benefits.
You just can use them until they're nothing, and then when they're nothing, you can compost them.
Yep.
So if you haven't started cloth diapering, know that you
should find someone who has
and use them as cleaning rags eventually.
The Swedish dish sponges, which are really just made out of like a plant cellulose, they kind of look like, I don't know, almost like stiff sheets. I'm sure you've seen them.
Until they get wet.
Yes, and when they get wet, they kind of feel more like a fabric. They're very...
Yeah, they're very sponge. I think they're a good sponge replacement. They're
a good paper towel replacement for me.
Paper towel, if you really need that sponge paper towel combo. Mm-hmm. They're great.
Like absorbent, but also easy to manipulate and clean a flat surface.
Yes.
Or a curved surface.
You use them and then you can rinse them, use them again.
You throw them in the washing machine.
Incredibly absorbent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just wash them, and at end of life, they're compostable.
Yep.
Those are great. It took a little bit of a learning curve for me because sponges in general, and I think these have in my brain, they're similar to a sponge because of how absorbent they are. And if you don't let them dry properly, they get a little slimy and stinky.
Yeah, that's when you throw them in the wash.
Right. Once you get used to them, I think they're really helpful.
Oh, yeah. I love them.
Old toothbrushes are
for
huge.
Sure. Around the bathtub where the caulk is and it meets the wall. Love it for that.
So many places.
The little hard to reach places.
Yeah, when you're cleaning windows and there are those little spots that you just can't fit anything in. Oh, the toothbrush.
So good.
Those are really primo.
And good leverage, really gets in there.
Yeah, great cleaning tools. And if you're getting the bamboo toothbrushes,
compostable.
Compost after that.
Yep. So when you think about it, as you start to clean in a more sustainable way, you're not just reducing the plastic from the bottles, you're also reducing the plastic from the sponges and the microfiber cloths and the paper towels. I mean, all of the different aspects of cleaning are now condensed.
Yeah, I'm thinking about how I haven't bought sponges or any of those cleaning brushes or anything in so long because we're just using what we have. Yeah. So it's also a money saver, which is great.
Yeah, so much money saved.
It's not a secret. Shout it from the rooftops, baby girl.
There's so much money being saved.
DIY cleaners. When I first started my low waste lifestyle, I was into that a little bit. And now with kids, I just want the tablets. I just need it to be easier.
That's why we carry both at the shop, because it's the same. It's like I was really into making my own things, and then and so we carry the DIY ingredients. But ultimately, sustainability, as we've talked about, more than just the environment, also mental health. Can we do it? The tabs make it so easy.
All you're thinking about is adding water. What was the recipe? I need 1/3 cup of this. Oh, now I'm finished using this, but I want to clean this now. But I only use this one bottle.
I actually have one customer who comes in and she asks me to do all the different little bits of the ingredients, and then she puts them in the bottle.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
There are some very effective DIY cleaners, especially if you want to know exactly what ingredients are in your cleaning products, then this is the way to go.
So one of the things that people often wonder is, well, will it disinfect the way that the cleaners that we currently are using?
Is it as effective as bleach or whatever else I'm using?
And some are and some aren't. Like the isopropyl alcohol is fantastic at disinfecting. It's why it's in most of the hand sanitizers. It's why acupuncturists use it on their needles. It's why hospitals use it to wipe off surfaces and things like that. So any kind of an isopropyl alcohol, specifically the 99%, because 70% is what's more common whenever you go and you get it from like a pharmacy or something. Mm-hmm. But the 99% is fantastic at disinfecting and dries very quickly, so also makes a great window cleaner.
But you don't want to just spray everything with isopropyl alcohol.
No, and you also don't want to really get it. If you're doing 99% especially, you don't want to have it on your skin because it's drying and it's strong.
And I can't imagine it's good for all surfaces.
I mean, look, if you want to disinfect it, it's gonna do a pretty good job, I would say. I'm not a scientist, so don't necessarily quote me. But on your non-porous surfaces, I would think would be the best idea.
Right. All right. What about vinegar? I know that comes up a lot in DIY cleaners.
Yeah, vinegar is amazing. It's not the disinfectant that people think it is necessarily. It does disinfect, but not nearly as effectively as something like an isopropyl alcohol or bleach, which does disinfect, but not, we don't want to use it. Vinegar is great because of its acidity. So it cuts through grease very well. It cuts through lime scale, as we've talked about with toilets and things like that, or anytime you've got that hard water stain on even, like chrome fixtures or things like that, it will eat through metal. So you want to be careful what you're using it on and rinsing it off depending on what it is. And if you have vinegar in a cleaning bottle, you want to make sure that the trigger sprayer doesn't have metal components because that will then rust out. Or like even, I remember using vinegar once as a weed killer and putting it in like one of those pump spray things.
Oh.
And it ate through the metal components and then my sprayer was no longer usable. So just a pro tip there. You want an industrial trigger sprayer for that. And they make them. Right. They're plastic, so it's not going to corrode.
Okay.
Another tip that some people use is taking like orange rinds or lemon rinds and putting it in the vinegar, or even pine needles, things that help make that not smell fragrant. So vinegary.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing people complain about with vinegar is just like how potent that smell is. It's a whole different punch in the face.
The smell does go away.
Yes.
It's not like it lingers for days and days.
Right. It's like we put it in our wash too. I think I've told you this before, as a fabric softener. And people, whenever I share that information, they're like, does your clothing come out smelling like vinegar? No, it doesn't. But yeah, vinegar is awesome.
I know some people use citric acid.
Yes, that's in most of the cleaning tablets, actually.
Right. I tried making toilet bombs once with some citric acid.
How'd it go?
It went fine, but it's just one of those things like I don't have the time to spend on this anymore.
Yeah.
I'll purchase them.
Yeah. Citric acid is another thing that just cuts through.
It has
really
a lot
well.
of acidity. Also,
you don't want to use it on natural stone.
You know what, though? Whenever if I make a big pitcher of lemonade, say, just using the lemon, like half of a lemon, with some baking soda to clean out a stainless steel sink, that does wonders. Yeah,
lemon and salt on like a butcher block. Great. Sprinkle a little salt.
And it smells so good.
Half that lemon. Yeah.
Baking soda I've used a lot for clothing stains, which we'll talk about in another episode, but I love a baking soda.
Okay, I'm excited to learn.
Okay.
Baking soda is also great as an abrasive. So it's a mild abrasive, nothing nearly as powerful as an ingredient we'll talk about in a minute. But fantastic for like, I don't know, a coffee stain in a mug,
Oh, yes.
Or
I need to try that.
Yeah.
Because it's clean, but it's stained.
It's clean. It's just stained, yeah. There's like a surface stain.
I haven't really thought of that. I'm going to give that a whirl.
And then also great at deodorizing.
Yes, that's why it's in a lot of homemade deodorants.
Which is why I can't use most of those homemade deodorants because the baking soda makes my underarms chafe.
Oh.
I know. It's super drying. So I use our cream deodorant. Whole other thing.
That's another.
It is. It's our bestseller, and I love it, but we'll talk about that later.
We have an armpit episode
We're talking
coming
about
up.
Spring cleaning. We should have an armpit episode. I don't know what we would.
That's the pits. Will be the name of it. Or the pit of despair. You know what? This is
Workshopping.
We don't usually do this.
You're getting a behind the scenes look. Baking soda is also called sodium bicarbonate.
I was going to ask you. I couldn't remember what the
scientific
generic
term
name is. Yeah. Okay.
So there's sodium bicarbonate, There's sodium carbonate, which is washing soda. And washing soda is more abrasive. I love using washing soda as a tub and tile cleaner because it cuts through that soap scum and it's abrasive enough to where it's a nice scrub. You can mix it with a Castile soap and have like a soft scrub option to clean stainless steel sinks or any kind of sink.
This is something I'm going to have to try. I made the horrible decision to get my kids some bath crayons.
It's not a horrible decision.
It's the worst parenting decision I've ever made.
No.
Eleisha, I'm not kidding.
Really?
They are so hard to get out.
Okay, yeah, try this. Washing soda, take an old like seasoning container that has the little holes at the top.
Okay.
Wet down the surface. Take that seasoning container, and then that way it kind of just disperses. If you don't do it in that kind of a, I don't know, like if instead you were to just try and pour it, it wastes a lot of product. So you're going to want to do that. And then use a rag. Don't use a sponge or
brush.
Don't use a scrub brush. That nullifies the abrasive qualities of the washing soda.
Okay.
So with that, then you're going to want to just rub and that abrasiveness will hopefully take it out.
My mother-in-law came to visit.
Yeah.
And the bathroom attached to my kids' room has a bathtub in it.
Right.
That's where the tub crayons are being used. I was going to clean that tub so that she could use it in case. After a solid half hour of getting 1 square inch.
No.
I was like, this bathroom's off limits. Sorry. You'll have to shower. Also, what's so horrible is right now while I'm pregnant, all I want is to take a bath.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not touching that tub.
This is what I'm going to do. Tomorrow, when I come up to visit y'all,
you'll bring me some?
I'm going to clean that tub for you and hope that you'll forgive me for all the times that I manipulated you into cleaning as a child.
This is so worth it. I thought you were just going to say, you'll bring me some. No. And I'm like, that's also worth it.
I got it. No. Mm-mm.
Wow.
I'm going to take care of you, baby girl.
Okay. You're going to gag the whole time. You're like, why is it like this?
Stop.
If you learn nothing else from this episode, please let it be that you don't get any bath crayons.
And to be a better big sister.
Okay. Moving right along.
Okay. Last of the sodium something carbonates.
Sodium carbonate, more?
Sodium.
Tricarbonate?
We did sodium bicarbonate, sodium carbonate, and then sodium percarbonate, which is...
Oh, that's like from cats.
Because of purr?
Yeah.
You're such a dork. No, not from cats.
Oh.
It's vegan. It's a vegan option.
It's to clean cats. No.
It's Pet cleaner. PER.
Oh.
It's hydrogen peroxide. But it's like 100% hydrogen peroxide. Because when you usually get it at the store, it's a 3%.
So hydrogen peroxide has nothing to do with cats.
Shocking. But no, I know you were hoping that it did. How are you feeling? Did you get any sleep last night?
Not a lot. Not a lot. It's my morning to wake up with the kids. So
I'm a huge fan of sodium percarbonate. Without cats.
The excitement I'm seeing is similar to that of the dishwashing episode. And I really like these episodes that we do where the information you have just gets to shine. Do you know how many moms probably listen to this and are like, oh, I'm going to try this on my bath crayons? I know at least one other person that listens has children.
Hi.
Hey.
I am excited about sodium percarbonate.
I was being sincere. It's nice to be showered with this information.
We call it unbleach in the shop.
The sodium percarbonate?
Yeah, because it's a bleach alternative.
Okay.
Really great whitener. Really great at removing mold. I mean, it's one of those things that is better than bleach whenever you think of like cleaning out grout and such, because bleach kind of causes the mold and the mildew to retreat into the grout.
Mm-hmm.
Sodium percarbonate actually kind of, because it fizzes and kind of oxygenates, causes it to pull out of the grout.
Oh, which sounds better.
It's also, like I said, a great brightener. So using it in the wash is fantastic.
This is a sincere question. Whenever we were kids and we had
I'm
cuts,
glad you're asking a sincere one.
No cats involved in this one.
Okay.
Whenever we were kids and he had cuts and the school nurse or whatever would pour a little hydrogen peroxide, was it pulling out
Infection.
in the same way that it pulls out?
That's my understanding. Also not a doctor, so.
Because it would always bubble.
Yeah.
Do you still pour hydrogen peroxide on kids?
I mean, I don't just go around pouring hydrogen peroxide on kids, but...
We've had our fair share of medical issues, but not a lot of cuts.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that science experiment phase of life.
You can't?
I mean.
But yeah, it's another one of those that's really great. And also great for if you're, thrifting old clothes that have like little stains, especially white clothes that have that kind of yellowing stain to them.
We're talking about clothes
I'm sorry.
in another episode.
I know, and that's really your forte.
No, I want you to...
No.
to share knowledge too, but I don't want...
No, I don't want to step on your toes.
I don't want you getting listeners all excited about how to clean clothes right now, because this is a house cleaning episode.
Oh, this is like a, what do you call it whenever you're watching a show and then they like...
The teaser?
Yeah, the teaser. This is a teaser. What is it? Next week that we're talking about
I think we are talking about it next week.
Teaser for next week.
Get excited. I know people are chomping at the bit. They're like, oh my God, she was about to spill how to clean clothes and now I don't even know.
I just get so excited about laundry.
I have to wait a whole week
to do laundry? Ooh, actually, you're welcome.
You know what? I think a lot of people are probably mourning the end of season 2 of Severance, and I hope this can be your replacement.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's nuts.
Next level.
But here's what I'm saying. Like, this is the cliffhanger replacement that you've been waiting for.
Mm-hmm. You might have thought the end of this season was 2 weeks ago when we disappeared for a second there.
I was in the hospital with I was in the hospital. My toddler.
Again.
Was in the hospital for a different the other toddler.
We're laughing about it now.
It wasn't funny.
No.
My younger toddler, because I have 2 toddlers now, was in the hospital for a couple nights. Everything's fine.
Yes.
We are all good. But we are extra sensitive to respiratory issues now.
Yeah, which is really appropriate for today's episode.
I definitely do not want to add on to the respiratory problems that apparently I passed down to my poor children.
Genetics.
Yeah, dang it. They really thought they hit a home run with these genes, but they're really like, these are the problems you gave us. In case you were wondering.
Oh, yeah, I get to see that all the time in my daughter.
Anyway, spring cleaning. It's not easy being green.
Ooh. One thing I do have to mention about sodium percarbonate.
Which is hydrogen peroxide.
100%. It's 100% hydrogen peroxide, so it's a powder form. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I had not pictured that. So
you were thinking just the liquid form?
I just didn't. Yeah, I didn't know.
Okay, no. It's liquid because there's so much water added to the powder form.
Okay.
That's what hydrogen peroxide is.
No,
the
okay.
3% hydrogen peroxide is diluted sodium percarbonate.
Okay.
Got it?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Quiz me.
All right. Well, I'm not quizzing you. I'm just going to tell you one other thing that's important.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm ready for a quiz if you...
if I decide to just spring one on you.
Play school and teacher later.
Does sodium percarbonate need to be activated with hot water?
You said you weren't going to quiz me, and also I know, we didn't
but then
cover
I wanted
that.
to play school.
No.
It does.
Yes.
It does. The answer is yes.
To be fair, we had not talked about that.
I know. Excuse me, you did not tell me this was going to be on the quiz.
These are not in my notes.
Okay, so yeah, you have to activate it with hot water, and it's only active for about 5 hours after it's activated. So it works only during that time. And it acts as a disinfectant, but it takes longer than isopropyl alcohol in order to disinfect. So it takes about 5 minutes to actually disinfect.
Alicia, these are really important tidbits. I can't believe you were going to quiz me without having discussed that at all.
Sorry. Well, sometimes I forget about all the things that I've learned. And then I see a note and I'm like, oh, right.
I mean, that's huge. The powder needs hot water. It's only good for 5 hours. So you can't just bottle it and then use it next week.
Well, you could if you didn't want it to do anything. This isn't a set it and forget it.
At what point can you clean your cat with it? Is it safe after 5 hours?
And then one thing.
Another thing?
It's not about sodium percarbonate.
Is it about sodium bicarbonate?
No.
Sodium carbonate?
No. It's about Castile soap. We didn't really
We
talk
didn't even
about
talk
it.
about Castile soap.
I know.
And Castile soap's a pretty good one.
It's like the superhero of soaps.
You can do so many things.
Yeah. CastileSoapUses.com. Great resource for how to use it in so many cleaning
ways.
Options. Mm-hmm.
You can brush your teeth with that stuff. Not that I want to.
I also don't want to wash my dishes with it, honestly, though you can.
It's not great with soft water, right? It's either not good with soft water or hard water. It takes a lot, I think, to cut through
the grease. Because it's an oil from the Castile region. So that's why it's called Castile soap. I can't remember if I've said that before.
I don't think you have.
That oil, usually like oil can attract oil and things like that, which is why in theory it would be a good cleaner.
I found when I tried it as a dish soap that it takes a lot of it to be effective.
Yeah.
And it's kind of expensive to be used
I
that
agree.
way. Mm-hmm. But we'll get a big bottle and it just lasts forever because you only need a little bit.
Great for like mop water.
Yes.
So good for that. And fine on floors, wood floors, because a lot of people are concerned about wood furniture. Castile soap's great for that because it's, like I said, it is an oil base. So you're not having to worry about stripping your wood.
Yeah. And you can use it as a hair wash, a body wash. I don't particularly like it for that, but it's if you're going camping and you just want to bring a little bottle that can wash your dishes, wash your hair, brush your teeth.
Yeah. But we are focusing on spring cleaning.
People camp in the spring.
Do you have any cleaning confessions?
I think we should point out the name of the episode is Coming Clean.
It's true.
So I thought it would be fun if we had a few cleaning confessions.
Okay.
I can't think of a ton, but one thing that I do is keep a toothbrush in the shower.
Yeah.
And then I'll clean the grout. So that I don't have to spend a whole lot of time.
Do you know what's so funny about this? My confession was also going to be that I clean while I'm in the shower. Yeah. Because it's the worst thing to clean when you're not taking a shower. Because you're getting wet. Well, it's like the whole thing.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, but this, I'll
That's
just
hilarious.
Just a little, like one little area. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit every time.
I 100% agree with that. I'll make sure that if I take a bath and use like a bar soap, that I'm at the water line before, like as the water's receding,
you're cleaning.
I'm like cleaning that so that there's not a little soap scum ring in the bath.
One thing that's happening a lot right now as my 3-year-old is potty training. He's still learning how to aim. Mm-hmm. And the bathroom, it's a mess. Like sometimes I'm like, how did that happen? How did it get over there? Maybe just sit. I don't know. I've never had this issue in my life.
Right.
This is not necessarily a cleaning confession because I'm cleaning it. It's more of I need to talk to someone about this because what? Why? How do we fix this? Why is this happening? How long is this going to happen?
I don't know. I had a daughter that was great. That didn't sitting down. I don't know.
I never used to mind cleaning a bathroom, and now it's easily just the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
Going back to your toilet bombs, the boys might like this. The fact that when you put it in and they fizz and everything like that, it may be exciting for them to help clean the toilet.
I have to decide if I want their help. Some things, like switching the laundry is fine. Yeah. Some things it's like, that was worse than you not helping.
Yeah. My final cleaning confession would be that I tend to wake up and clean all day. Like I have to decide that it's going to be a cleaning day, or invite friends over to make me clean. Great motivator. Or mom and dad coming to visit. Also pretty good motivator. They're more forgiving, so I'm not like really deep cleaning in that.
If I come over, you don't even bother.
Nope. It is what it is.
We have been having weekly hangouts with some friends, and they come to our place every other week. We swap.
Great.
That has been the best. I mean, our house is getting clean every other week.
It's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So the confession is I definitely invite people over to make myself clean. No, I'm kidding. That's not why.
You're like, Josh,
I don't want to clean.
I didn't want to see these people today. Then why did you invite them? Because the house is filthy. And it was not going to get clean unless somebody was going to see it.
No, the thing I was going to say is I'll clean all day. I usually have like 1950s songs in the background because that's a real motivator for me. I don't know why. I know the words.
You just want to feel like an oppressed housewife back in the 50s. You're like, oh, honey, I'll get to the cooking in a minute.
No one wants me cooking.
It's your cosplay.
I mean, I usually am in my robe. So I guess
when are you not in your robe, though?
When we're filming a podcast. And when I'm at work. But yeah, so then the end of the day, I'll reward myself with a shower. And I'm cleaning in the shower, but at the end of it, then I'm done. It's not a great confession.
Sometimes I think maybe you don't understand what a reward is.
I mean, that's accurate. I would say that's 100% accurate.
Sometimes if both of my kids are napping, I'll ignore the housework and go do a hobby instead. This is rare. My kids don't nap at the same time. If it happens, I'll go do something fun or sleep.
Yeah.
And then I'll clean when they're awake.
Ooh. What a confession.
Yeah. Because they can be around.
Yeah.
I can clean
also,
while
it's
they're...
probably good for them to see.
That's true.
Cleaning.
But I can clean while they're around. I cannot sleep or do my hobbies when they're around.
No. I think that's great.
Thank you.
I support it.
Thank you.
The only way that laundry gets folded in our house, and I feel like this has been since we were children, so maybe it's just carried on, is if there is a television show happening at the same time.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'll fold while I'm watching. And it's like that reward. Oh, I get to fold laundry.
Oh, yeah. I'm also taking twice as long.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I also have a really good one that I just recently figured out with my daughter.
Okay.
We were having an issue where she would take her earrings off, but would just put them down somewhere. And so I tried a million different things. I tried a box for her earrings, and they would still end up next to her bed on the little night table. So then I tried moving the box to her night table. Nothing. Earrings still everywhere. So then I figured out, I'll just get her this little earring stand and keep it there. Nope. Earrings still everywhere. So the whole thing is this is not clean, right? I mean, it's clean in that it's like not dirty, but not kept up.
Okay.
And then here on Buy Nothing comes up these 4-week pill containers. So it's like a fairly decent size month-long of pills, right?
Okay.
And each one has a very satisfying click.
In it. Oh.
It was empty.
Okay.
It has a very satisfying click as each compartment opens.
Okay.
And it has solved the problem.
Really?
She now puts her earrings in every single time because she loves that click.
Okay.
So it's a confession in that, like, cleaning the house or cleaning your room or, all the things sometimes are really hard. And for whatever reason, there's some resistance that's preventing you from doing the thing. And so in the same way that we watch television while we're folding clothes or we shower while we're cleaning the shower, if you can pair it with something that is fun or satisfying or enjoyable,
a little bit satisfying, a little bit of a reward,
a little dopamine hit, something like that, that's the way to do it.
You gave me an idea.
Oh gosh,
so dumb.
Okay, let's hear it.
I just imagine cleaning, but having one of those Camelbacks that has a drink straw, so that you're vacuuming, but you also have this delicious beverage.
Oh, like a coffee or a tea?
Yeah, whatever you're into. I was thinking chocolate milk, but like those things are also really good.
Okay.
Maybe a pina colada in the summer months.
All right.
Don't do that.
These are our confessions.
Don't do that. Don't put anything but water in a Camelback.
All right, you should be feeling ready to shake off the winter blues and give your home a fresh start without making a mess of the planet.
So, if you're ready to clean up your act, make sure to follow us and share with a friend, because we love helping people dust away their wasteful habits.
And we'll just keep springing forward together. One can hope.